right, here we go. Let's pick him up. Michael Colleluori. How you doing on the show?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing, Michael? Welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah, what's going on, guys? How we doing?
Hey, good. Yeah, happy to have you on the show. And just quickly, can you talk to the listeners a little bit about yourself and what you're all about? Just give the listeners a little brief sentence or two about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Michael Colleluori. I am the Vice President of the HeadStrong Foundation, which works to advocate, fundraise, and support those in the fight against blood cancer for patients and also for, doctors and researchers. Our main focus is to improve the quality of life for patients and families, and we use the game of lacrosse as our community to generate awareness and also to generate funds to provide services and programs to improve those lives. So that's what I do.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I'm a brain cancer survivor. I believe we talked about that, it's great to see people helping out, giving back, and I'm sure all the people that you've helped take that really to heart, and I know that they appreciate it. And as a fellow cancer survivor, I appreciate all the work you're doing.
Congratulations on your success with everything.
Yeah, thank you. Also, I just want to talk about your lacrosse career, and also you and Nick, you were very close, and everybody, Nick is Michael's brother who passed away of blood cancer. You want to talk a little bit about Nick and how you both first started playing with, and then talk about his battle with cancer.
Would love to. So Nicholas and I first got introduced to the game of lacrosse. I was in 3rd grade, he was in 4th grade, and it was just an immediate click that we just picked up the sticks and just fell in love with the game, and then we had such a great time competing against one another because he was defense and I was an offensive player, and just all the, going to all the tournaments and all the events, and lacrosse is a lot different now than it was when we first started. But we had a really good career in high school where we won 3 state championships in Pennsylvania, and we got a lot of, exposure because of those state championships. We also played on a Philadelphia Dogs team, coached by Matt Flynn and Mike Friel and Mark Petrone, some local names here in Philly, and it was an amazing team. I think like 90% of the team went Division I on that club team, and but then me and Nick took our careers to Hofstra University, and Nick was a year older than me and was just a stud, standout, all-American boy that really just understood what life was all about. And he got great time during his freshman year, mainly on the man-down squad, but the team itself was a lot older. They had a lot of old guys on the team, and he was able to find playing time and work his way in on the roster, and did a great job there. And then our dream was to play Division I lacrosse together, and it was really cool that we had the opportunity to do that at Hofstra University. And unfortunately, 3 weeks in my freshman year, which was in 2005, Nicholas was diagnosed with a terminal illness, a blood cancer, and was given a diagnosis of 3 months to live, and he lasted 14 months. And during that time, he was very well involved with the club, with the Hofstra University lacrosse team, and stayed involved. From the time of his diagnosis, he realized that there was limited resources out there for blood cancer patients, and he really became like a public advocate, like a blood cancer advocate. He didn't understand why there was nothing out there to help with financial assistance. He didn't understand why there wasn't people out there promoting the awareness side of this whole disease, because 1 in 4 are actually affected by the disease, and every 4 minutes there's a newly diagnosis, and every 10 minutes somebody passes away. And I believe there's 1.1 million people in the United States that are living with this disease, and he kind of conceptualized the HeadStrong Foundation. His vision was he recognized that there was a need, and he started the HeadStrong Foundation. Never got it off the ground because his health kind of deteriorated, but he started everything. He drew the logo. he created a mission. He created long-term and short-term goals for us. And before he passed away, actually hours before he passed, probably about an hour, he asked us if we could take, his foundation that he created to fruition. And here we are 6 years later, and we raised $3 million in his name, and everything we do is in his name. And we are really expanding upon our service offering. We now have our financial assistance, which we've helped over 800 families already to date with financial assistance, and we have now expanded our demographics within our grants. So we're actually now on a national level. We support pediatric all the way through the elderly. And we have 3 research portfolios, all in Nick's name, one at the University of Pennsylvania Hospital where he was treated, because we're from Philadelphia, one with our national partner, which is the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and then the other one is City of Hope out west in California. And we have a research portfolio with all 3, and that's the research that we support. We also have a Nick's House, which is one of our huge and probably most biggest accomplishments to date. We actually have housing. We bought a building, and my family, our friends, and the community kind of rebuilt this thing, remodeled it, and we now house cancer patients at Nick's House for free. And our long-term goal there is to be able to take that Nick's House model, develop it into like Baltimore and Long Island, New York, and some big hotbeds of the game of lacrosse that are by a top hospital that treats blood cancer. And we have a lot of interest. We've been out for about a year with Nick's House, and we've hosted over a dozen families with that, and it's just an amazing feeling. We operate our headquarters out of the first level, and then the second level we actually have where the patients stay. And then additionally, our service offering, we have a head table program, and what that does is it actually goes down to the University of Pennsylvania Hospital every other month, and it feeds the patients, the inpatients, their families, and the entire staff. So at a time, we probably feed around 500 people. We just did it on December 16th. It was last Sunday, and it was amazing. And we do it. This all kind of was inspired by Nick's vision to go down to the hospital on Thanksgiving. This is one of his other requests that he had initially built into the HeadStrong Foundation, was to go down every Thanksgiving and to provide a Thanksgiving meal. Well, we've now done that for 6 years in a row, which is now what we're doing now is expanding, like I said earlier, on a lot of our things. And now we're actually able to provide this service every other month down at the hospital. And then one of the other cool services that we're providing to really help out the patient is our head-to-head program. And that is a program that links newly diagnosed patients up with survivors. And that survivor and the new patient can kind of talk and, more or less just they're talking to somebody that's been through it and understands what it's like getting the treatment and can really relate to them and help them cope and deal with it and mentor them through this tough journey, because it's very challenging on all levels. Yeah. So, we just try to do everything we can to help, patients. The patients come first, and we're doing everything we can to help them. Within the last 2 years, myself, my mother, and my brother Pat have joined the foundation full-time. So the 3 of us are working full-time at it. And since our inception, which was back in 2006, it was all volunteer up to 2 years ago. So it really came a time where we really had to make a decision that was in the best interest of the company, the nonprofit, and it was for all 3 of us to do this full-time. It's our passion. It's what we believe in, and, it's our way to stay connected to Nick and keep him alive and keep his message, impacting thousands and thousands of people through the game of lacrosse, which is such an amazing sport and community that continues to support us, and then also the blood cancer community, which is these people that are dealt with this disease and really have their backs up against the wall. So if there's anything that we could do, we're always there to help.
Yeah. And I just want to say that's such a touching story, and it really is. It's so awesome that your whole family has really taken charge and made, like you said, Nick's goal to have this company, come to fruition, and it's really great to see that. And it's everything with Nick's House, everything that you're saying is so awesome. And I'd like to say that, even though I didn't go through blood cancer, but I'm a brain cancer survivor. If you need me to do anything, help out, talk to any of the patients just about going through chemo or radiation and stuff. I don't know if a brain cancer survivor could help, but at least I know like the treatments that they might go through.
Absolutely, definitely. I'm more than happy. I mean, each situation and scenario is a bit different. Although at the end of the day, cancer is cancer, and the treatments are really, there's a lot of similarities. Chemotherapy, a lot of it has the same effects, and there's different treatments for different diseases. But at the end of the day, a lot of it is more or less just connecting one-on-one with somebody that understands what it feels like. And our biggest thing, and what Nick was all about, was like being normal. Like, although you have physical side effects that go on with the drug, or there's a lot of different things that can happen, and to just be able to try to get back to a normal lifestyle is what Nick was like all about. Like, he didn't want to be treated any differently, and the cool thing is that Nicholas documented like his whole journey, because what he wanted to do was write a book, and he also wanted to start this foundation, and he wanted to show people, like, guys, I lived this. I'm proof that you can survive from this, and he just wanted to motivate people, to step up, to fight it, and to push through it, and to be relentless. And that's what he was all about, and which is why he conceptualized the HeadStrong Foundation. He changed his major at Hofstra from education to counseling because he wanted to be able to, counsel patients, and he actually did it. Nicholas was just such an amazing person. We had a benefit for him in April of 2006. He took the proceeds from the benefit and donated them to the hospital where he was treated, and he bought those hospital chairs that turn into beds with the money that he got from his benefit. He didn't take it himself and put it into his bank. That's just a small example of the person that Nicholas was, and that's why I try to live my life like Nick. Nick was like such an amazing person. He always put others first. He was always respectful. He was always making the right decisions, and just had this bubble around him that was just full of positive energy. The doctors, when they told him that there was nothing else they could do, he said, that's not good enough. I need a treatment. And then we took him down to NIH, and he just never gave up. He had that, relentless drive in him that no matter what it was, he was going to win, And, Unfortunately, he's no longer here with us right now, but at the same time, he's still impacting thousands and thousands, if not millions of people with his foundation and his work. And, my family is dedicated to the fight against blood cancer. We have a tremendous pool of volunteers, and we're so thankful for all of them. We have, I would say 200 to 300 volunteers at our fingertips at all times asking to do it. We have over 160 events a year, and we have developed such great partnerships in the game of lacrosse with Warrior and Bryan, and we just had meetings with them 2 weeks ago out in Detroit, and that was absolutely amazing. They're really going to start investing a lot of time and energy and all that into our line. Our line with them has been actually a huge success with the apparel and the product. Not the apparel, but the product side with the sticks and handles and gloves and all that stuff. And then we also have our stuff that has really allowed us to grow. I mean, we sell. It's crazy right now with the Christmas holiday, the amount of orders that have been coming through our online store, which is shopheadstrong.com, and it's unbelievable. You can't even. It's literally like 100 orders a day. So it's pretty amazing to see people rally behind us and allow us to continue, because lacrosse is the reason. It's our encouragement. That's what allows us to do our work. And, the most rewarding thing for us to do is be able to provide someone with a check and say, hey, listen, use this however you need it. Or or have them enjoy a nice meal in the hospital. Or be able to talk to a survivor, and just those simple things that really mean the world to somebody when they're going through this. And, it's just, I just love what we do. I believe in what we do. We have 2013 is going to be a huge year for us. We have a lot of things in the works, and we work very, very hard for what we do.
Yeah. It's just incredible how much you guys have accomplished, and it's Nick,
You there? I'm losing your. You're all staticky.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit better.
I was just saying how Nick's legacy will live on forever, and me and you too and your whole family too. I mean, you guys have done incredible stuff like we've talked about. So keep up the great work, man.
The other thing too is we have teams around the country. We have nine clubs right now that are going on. We have teams in Chicago and Memphis, Tennessee, and Florida, Philadelphia, Baltimore. We're up to Minnesota and Utah, and we're working right now to more or less create a team model that people that are in the game of lacrosse that want to eventually start a club team, they could be called HeadStrong. And the really cool thing is it's just not just lacrosse. The kids are responsible for community service. There's a fundraising total of $2,700 that has to be fundraised each year and given back to the foundation to further their mission. And we have really a huge, we haven't really advertised it yet, but we have 9 clubs right now around the country that are representing us on the field and in the community what we want. We try to do everything we can to empower young adults and young athletes to join our fight. And if there's anybody out there listening, our website is headstrongfoundation.org. Our online store is shopheadstrong.com. Our Facebook is facebook.com/Headstrong Foundation. And our Twitter is @HeadstrongFND, just in case we have any of the younger generation out there that are listening that want to follow us or like us on the social media aspect.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Everybody check out those links that Michael just said. And, I mean, I'm definitely going to be going to that store after this interview. I mean, you guys have some good stuff, and, I mean, it all is going to such a great cause. So, I mean, your company is working so hard here, so definitely going to be getting some HeadStrong gear after this interview.
Absolutely. If there's any lacrosse players out there or any coaches, there's great ways for you to get involved during the season, during the 2013 season. You can lace up your team by outfitting your team or in our lime green laces and lacing up for lymphoma. You can also strap up by purchasing chin straps for your helmets. It's a universal chin strap made by Warrior. Then we also have people that host events. During the season, lacrosse season, we'll have over 40 to 50 events that are we're benefactors of that people host on our behalf. So if there's anybody listening that wants to host a HeadStrong event, shoot us an email at info@headstrongfoundation.org. We'll be more than happy to work with you to make sure your event's successful.
Okay, great. Yeah. So say that email address again, just so everybody hears it again.
Yeah, the email address is info@headstrongfoundation.org. Okay,
cool.
Yeah.
And also on another note, are you still playing lacrosse competitively in tournaments and stuff?
A little bit. If an opportunity presents itself, I'll play. We played in we put a HeadStrong team in the Inside Lacrosse Powerball tournament, and that was really interesting. But other than that, I'm all about giving back to the game. We're going to transition this year, and we're going to pop up some HeadStrong lacrosse camps this summer in the Philadelphia area, New Jersey area, and northern Delaware. I'm all about giving back to the game. I think it's just amazing to be able to teach, the next generation the game and kind of the latest and greatest of what's going on. And I think it's good for the sport too. So as far as playing, I've kind of taken a step back from playing. My schedule is very busy with work, and but if I can get on the field, which I love to do, I also coach the local team here in Philadelphia, so that's always great. To be able to coach and teach the kids and make a difference in their lives, that's what it's all about. And my whole philosophy is I feel like playing at Hofstra, I played the best lacrosse I'll ever play. And I think there's a time where you really have to make a decision. I'll probably always have the stick in my hand and just enjoy it. But at the same time, priorities change as you live on, and you really have to make some decisions. So I actually, believe it or not, I was supposed to get drafted to play professionally out of college, and I opted out of it to take a position as a research assistant to the blood cancer team that treated my brother Nick at the University of Pennsylvania Hospital. So that was kind of the big, a very difficult time and a very difficult decision to make. But I had to do what's best, what's in the best interest for myself, and that's what I did.
Yeah. I mean that. Congrats on getting drafted. That time, and it's very good of you to make that decision to further your career. And what exactly do you do? And do you still work at the hospital?
I do. I still do work at the hospital. I worked more or less as a volunteer. My role before was a research assistant. I used to manage all the clinical trials within the blood cancer unit that they have there, the hematology oncology department at University of Pennsylvania, Abramson Cancer Center, and I actually still work there as a volunteer with the doctor that I was under, Dr. Stephen J. Schuster, and I'm actually going to be heading back down there after the holidays here to meet up with him and kind of keep that relationship going and be able to get down there once or twice a month just to help him out a little bit, because the disease is on the rise, and the number of new patients coming in is quite overwhelming for him.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it's a lot of. I mean, like you said, can you just say the statistics once more about how many people are diagnosed with blood cancer?
Yeah, there's 1.1 million people in the United States living with the disease of blood cancer. Blood cancer meaning leukemia, lymphoma, or myeloma. Every 4 minutes somebody's diagnosed, and every 10 minutes somebody loses their fight. And then additionally, 1 in 4 will eventually be affected by this disease during a lifetime. So it's pretty crazy stuff. And, to be quite honest with you, before my brother Nick got sick, I didn't know much about the disease or cancer in general. And, I think once you're personally touched by something, you really start to learn about it and, do everything you can to help. And that's what we're doing. So.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say great job with everything you've done. And I want to say thank you for joining me today on my show. And I know we'll be in touch in the future. And thanks for being on the show.
Jonny, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. To all the listeners, thank you for listening. We look forward to, we're hoping that we can count on you for some support, whatever that may be. Make it happen for us. Again, our website is HeadStrongFoundation.org. Our online store is ShopHeadStrong.com. And then please look us up on the social media aspect, with Twitter being @HeadStrongFND and our Facebook being Facebook.com/HeadStrongFoundation. All right?
All right. Thanks a lot, man. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jonny. All right. Take care. Have a wonderful holiday. Thanks.
Yeah, you too. All right, everybody. That's Michael Colleluori of HeadStrong. And go to those links that Michael told you about. Check it out. And right now, I just want to say thank you for joining me today. This is Jonny Vegas reminding all of you to grow your game. And to grow, you got to play. Happy lacrossing, everybody. Until next time.